UNLAD Pilipinas.
Sa makabago at lumang panahon, ang liwanag ang nagiging simbolo ng pag-asa at paghihilom. Nagbibigay ito ng inspirasyon at maaaring magbigay rin ng kasiyahan sa marami. Di nga ba't kapag sumasapit ang Kapaskuhan sa atin na nagsisimula sa tinaguriang Bear Months, ay napupuno ng maliliwanag at makukulay na ilaw ang kapaligiran na nagbibigay sa atin ng pag-asa sa darating na taon at nagpapangiti rin sa labi ng karamihan. Dito sa Cagayan de Oro, masasabing araw-araw ay Pasko. Ito'y dahil sa mga magagarang ilaw na naglipana sa buong lungsod na siyang dinadayo ngayon ng mga turistang lokal at maging mga dayuhan. Isa sa ipinagmamalaki ng Cagayan de Oro City ay ang kanilang Symphony of Lights na nasa ikatlong taon na at nagsisimula kapag Disyembre at tumatagal hanggang sa pagsapit ng Chinese New Year. Bukod sa mga parke na pasyalan ng mga tao, isa sa pinaiilawan ng pamahalaang lungsod ang makasaysayang Isalina Bridge na naitayo noon pang 1908 at nag-uugnay sa east at west side ng syudad sa magkabilang panig ng Cagayan River. Kung magagawi ka sa bahaging ito ng Cagayan de Oro, tiyak na mamamangha ka sa makikita mong tanawin at sa salitangan ng mga millennials, Instagrammable ang lugar lalo na sa pagsapit ng gabi. Kung kailan nagniningning ang korting bilog ng mga ilaw na nakapalamuti sa tulay. Magandang atraksyon ito hindi lamang sa mga turista, sa mga motorista na napapadaan sa tulay at maging sa mga residente. Higit sa tourist attraction, ang mga naglipa ng ilaw ay may mahalagang simbolo sa pamahalang lungsod ng Cagayan de Oro. Inalam natin kay Cagayan de Oro City Mayor Oscar Moreno kung ano ang kahalagahan ng pagpapailaw sa kanyang nasasakupan.
Ang mga exciting moments that they went through. So they too will come up with programs and projects that will inspire their young.
Sir, kadamihan nationwide ang mga LGUs ngayon. Napaka-busy sa pagpapaganda, pagpapa-improve, pag-rehabilitate ng kanilang mga daan, mga river and all. Bilang nangungunang syudad isa sa nangungunang syudad sa Mindanao, ano ang projects and kinabisihan ngayon para sa pagpapaganda?
Actually, yung 8-point agenda ko tuloy pa rin. Prime hat. P for poverty alleviation and peace and order. R for revenue generation and resettlement. I for infrastructure investments. M for metropolization. E for environment and education. H for hospital health services. A for agricultural productivity, and T for tourism, traffic, and teamwork. Tuloy pa rin yan. For the last 3 Christmases, we had this Symphony of Lights every year. Dito sa City Hall for 2 years, and then sa Gaston Park for the 3rd year. And maganda ang impact, no? At saka hindi lang Christmas light yan. Pinapatuloy namin yung lights hanggang Chinese New Year. It's our way of celebrating with our Filipino-Chinese community yung Chinese New Year. So sa Christmas songs, Christmas messages.
But this is masyadong extended na yung Christmas nyo. So you're saying Christmas is every day?
Hindi naman. Ang ginawa namin, a few days after New Year, wala mo nang ilaw. And then 1 week before the Chinese New Year, binalik namin ang ilaw. Hindi lang ginalaw. And in fact, after the Chinese New Year this time, normally tinatanggal na yung ilaw. Pero sabi ko, wag na lang dahil sayang din. Ang storage niyan, malaki ang spoilage. So sabi ko, tuloy-tuloy na yan hanggang sa Makaya. So ang Gaston Park is lighted every night. No? Ang ganda ng aming Gaston Park dahil it's very close to the cathedral.
Okay.
So, ano yan, people go to the cathedral to pray, and then yung park just outside the cathedral for recreation, etc. No? And I was quite amazed sa Symphony of Lights na I asked the provider of the lights na pwede bang i-project din niya ang ating main bridge, no? We call it the Isalina Bridge. Ang Cagayan de Oro kasi, Cesar, is composed of two districts, the eastern and the western districts, no? And then between the two is Cagayan River. And sa western side, yan yung Barangay Carmen, which is the biggest barangay of the city. And sa eastern side is the poblacion of the city, no? City Hall, Cathedral, and so on. Very historic yung Isalina Bridge. That was the first bridge that connected the east and the west. Noong 1908 pa yata, the longest at the time, no?
What does this lights symbolize?
Well, light
It seems you're lighting the city all over the place.
Yeah,
Lahat.
and
Pati kasuluk-sulukan.
certainly, Cesar, no? And the better the light, the more wonderful it is. No?
This brings inspiration, hope.
Inspiration, hope, harmony.
There are people who were saying, pinailawan niya ni Mayor kasi yung bridge na sa ilalim, yung river na
Yes.
kinatatakutan nun.
Well, ang river kasi, ang isang na-notice ko dito. By the way, I was not born in Cagayan de Oro. I was born in Misamis Oriental.
Okay.
I grew up in my hometown, Balingasag, although I studied high school here in Cagayan de Oro. And then when I was governor between 2004 and 2013, andito kasi ang kapitolyo ng Misamis Oriental in the city, no? And so I virtually lived here, for 9 years. And so when my third term was about to end, I thought na there was this mission to do in Cagayan de Oro. So I decided to run for mayor. And isa na dyan was correct, yung Sindong. Never again na mangyari yan.
So this means these lights would always remind never again.
Never again sa Sindong.
So ito rin, na inilawan mo to para mas may balik yung memory, never again talaga
Never
nangyayari.
And appreciate the beauty of the river.
There are people who are always visiting this river kasi napaka-historic. Wala nang masyadong mga squatters and all.
Wala na.
Nalinis, gumanda. Saan na sila napunta?
Relocate namin.
Saan sila na-relocate?
Maganda, we have,
Was that part of your cleaning drive?
initially yung Sindong. Dahil yung Sindong, we saw the worst that can possibly happen kung napabayaan mo yung river. Walang disaster risk reduction program.
Flood control projects.
Wala rin, napabayaan.
Di ba ngayon masyadong marami
Ayun,
nang
na.
kinoconnect niya?
Yun nga, by 2022, at the latest 2023, everything will already be in place. No? And then yung mga nakatira sa no-build zone na tawag, relocated na sila.
In talking about more beautification projects, napag-alaman namin na ang basurahan, dating dam site, ay magiging eco park na sa
Eco-park.
susunod na panahon.
Eco Park.
Bigyan mo kami ng napakagandang plano kasi bumisita daw sa'yo si Secretary Simato. Anong sinabi sa'yo? Hindi ka ba niya binigyan ng award dahil sa naturang magandang project?
Pumalakpak siya.
Talaga?
Natuwa with what he saw.
Pwede pa lang ang basurahan ay maging eco park.
Yeah, that we're doing.
Couldn't imagine.
We're doing that now.
What about the smell and
Wala na, Cesar. Oh. Ang nangyari kasi, itong Solid Waste Management Act took effect 2005 or something. No? And as early as then, the LGUs were already mandated to close the open dump site. and put up sanitary landfill, no? But of course, alam natin na mahirap gawin yan, etc. Especially sa mga LGUs na who may not have the resources. But for a city like Cagayan de Oro, that's rather strange, no? Maka-afford na ng city. It's just that wala siya sa agenda noon.
Bakit nagpunta si Secretary Simato dito? Imbitahan mo or was...
No, part of his regular inspection trip, no? And
Na-notice niya.
I think ano din at that time ang 4th ID Infantry Division was about to celebrate their 50th anniversary, golden anniversary sa 4th ID. And that is based here in Cagayan de Oro. And Secretary Simato used to be the commander of that 4th ID. So I think he also attended that. No? But the day before the anniversary, he did his tour as Secretary of the DNR.
Naging malaking bangungot sa Cagayan de Oro ang pananalasa ng bagyong Sendong taong 2011. Kasunod ng walang tigil na pag-ulan na dala ng bagyo, umapaw ang ilog na nagdulot ng pagbaha sa malaking bahagi ng lungsod na nagresulta sa pagkakapinsala ng ilang mga gusali at ikinasawi rin ng daan-daang residente. Kaya naman may inisyatiba ngayon ang pamahalang lungsod ng Cagayan de Oro na burahin ang negatibong imahe ng pamosong ilog. Bukod sa rehabilitasyon at relokasyon ng mga naninirahan malapit sa Cagayan River, nais ng lokal na pamahalaan na magkaroon ng recreational area sa tabing ilog kung saan maaring mamasyal at maglibang ang mga tao at maaari ring pagdausan ng mga sporting events at iba pang aktibidad. Sa ilalim ng Lunhaw Project, hindi lang mapapangalagaan ang kapaligiran at kalikasan, kundi mapoprotektahan rin ang mga mamamayan sa panganib na maaring idulot ito sa kanila. Dahil naging leksyon na ang pinsala ng bagyong Sendong at maging ng bagyong Yolanda, mahalaga sa Cagayan de Oro City na maitaguyod ang luntiang pamayanan. Ilang taon mula nang manalasa ang bagyong Sendong, malaki na ang naging pagbabago sa Cagayan de Oro at wala na ang bakas ng trahedya ng nakaraan.
So Kilo River will no longer be Kilo River soon.
Yeah, and of course, itong Lunhaw project is something that really complements, no, augments all the initiatives that have been put forward in order to make Cagayan River a wholesome place. No? Now, meron din kasing mga accretions. But dyan sa mga accretions, marami nakatira dyan noon. And unfortunately, the city government encouraged people to live in those accretion areas and even came up with a program called Piso Piso.
Is that the one you're partnering with the UN Habitat?
No, that was the previous administration. No? And in-encourage nila ang mga tao to stay in those accretions. So, siyempre, mga informal settlers, walang ibang matirahan, tuwa pa sila. Ang galing ng ating gobyerno. There were times when they were warned na, uy, delikado kayo dyan kung magbaha. They would always say na, wala mong problema kung magbaha, tatakbo lang kami. Uulan naman before magbaha. Tatakbo lang kami. Until Sendong came. Now, yung Sendong was extraordinary dahil grabe ang level of rainfall doon sa Bukidnon area. Yun ang ano talaga. Pag ang rainfall doon sa Bukidnon area is so heavy, delikado ang Cagayan River. So, yun ang nangyari. So, many of them were caught unaware. Gabi yun, tulog sila, bigla na lang. Lakas ng tubig, many of them perished. No? Pero ang iba doon na pinulot sa Camiguin. Napaka-tragic noon sa San Juan. Isa yan sa mga lessons of Sendong.
But as you rebuild the city, gusto mo na yung mga tourist spots na magaganda na kailangan i-rehabilitate, bigyang pansin. You have the Cueva de Oro, you have the beautiful falls. Tell us something about that para ma-inspire lahat ng mga tao.
Yeah, pero itong Lunhaw, ang gagawin namin is there will be a long walkway from one end of the river to another end. People could use for recreation, sports, and pwede pang merong night market, no? May magandang design eh. But the idea is, Lunhaw is a native term which means hapsay, organized, pleasant, etc. No? So that's what Lunhaw is all about, no? Where people will be using the river banks as a place of recreation. Ang ganda kasi ng sunset dito sa Cagayan de Oro dahil ang western side, doon ang sunset. If you're from the east, makikita mo yung sunset.
Tatayuan mo naman maraming ilaw to, Mayor.
May mga ilaw na nga yung iba eh. Pero yan ang Lunhaw, promenade. And that's in partnership with UN Habitat. It's going to remind us of the special role of Cagayan River. No, and then aside from that, yung ibang mga projects din, yung Cueva de Oro.
Ayun lang namin narinig dyan.
Dito sa western side, hinterland area of Cagayan, merong mga caves dyan. Merong mga caves, no? And yung Macambus Cave, ano na yan, that's very historic, no? And then there are some other caves further up, no? And we are now doing yung mga projects that would make the caves accessible for tourists and all that. And
Gumagawa kayo ng mga simentanong daan na papunta doon.
among others, plus and that we're doing in partnership with the DNR. No? I-preserve natin ang cave, but i-beautify natin.
Pero ito siya, sir, ano to? Pambihirang cave ito.
Siguro, I guess pare-pareho din siguro sa ibang caves, but this could also tell us about the history of the city.
And of course, the falls. Yung grabing, ngayon lang ako nakita ng ganyang falls.
There is what we call the Sinulong Falls. Actually, that's between Talakag, which is part of Bukidnon, and Tignapuluan. Ano yan, itong Cagayan River kasi, Cesar, upstream, that is the boundary between Bukidnon and Cagayan de Oro, ang Cagayan River. Paglampas mo sa yung Baungon, after Baungon, yung Talakag, no? So, all the way yan, papuntang taas, no? And yung doon sa Talakag area, yung Talakag on one side and Tignapuluan on the other side, andun yung tinatawag na Sinulong Falls, no? Actually, the water comes from the Talakag side. But ang Talakag is like elevated siya, and then it's like a ravine.
Ito ba yung sinasabi na matamis daw, parang soft drinks ang tubig dyan?
It's ready to drink. The beauty of these falls is, ang tubig, hindi yung traditional, Cesar, na galing sa river. Normally, ang falls, galing sa river sa taas. But this one is not. Ang tubig, galing sa body of the mountain.
Parang lumalabas ang sila sa katas.
Correct. Wala kang makitang river sa taas ng Talakag. Walang river doon. Nandun sa body of the mountain. Lumalabas lang. And then falling down to Cagayan River.
You want to protect the river, kailangan rehabilitate siya. Meron pa kayong Makahalar Bay. So, while protecting the river, you also have to preserve Makahalar Bay. So, bakit? Ano bang meron dyan sa bay na yun?
Well, ang importante kasi is, ang dami, no? Environment, resiliency, ang daming anggulo. Plus, of course, harmony among the LGUs, no? Dahil meron kang boundaries.
Correct.
Ang Makahalar Bay, the LGUs that form part of that comprise the Makahalar Bay ang total is 14. Apat sa western side, Upol, El Salvador, Alubid, Daguindingan. And these are all parts of Misamis Oriental. And then 9 sa eastern side. Taguluan, Villanueva, Saan, Balingasag, Lagunglong, Salay, Binuangan, Sugbong Kugon, Kinugitan, no? Plus Cagayan de Oro in the middle, down below. So you have a total of 14 LGUs. And meron tayong problema sa boundaries for small-time shipping, no? So we're trying to solve that by coming up with this forum where we agree on our protocols, etc. Pero ang Makahalar Bay Development Authority was actually formed as part of the initiatives to improve the environment.
And of course, protect our fish and the marine life.
Yes. And kasama nito
Bago mo mga isda dyan,
Xavier
Mayor?
University,
Okay.
Macao, kasama sila dyan. Actually, we're very grateful to them for having initiated this. So, ang Makahalar Bay Development Authority is already well in place, no? Plus, meron pa tayong Ridge to Reef program. Because of Sendong, na-establish itong Cagayan de Oro River Basin Management Council led by, at the time, the Archdiocese, the Archbishop of Cagayan de Oro, Archbishop Ledesma. And they invited me to take part. I was then governor of Misamis Oriental, so I joined in. Pero ngayon, yung Cagayan de Oro River Basin Management Council, kasama na ang agriculture, DNR, DILG, everybody is already part. Plus the private sector, plus the academe, and many others.
And how's their support?
Maganda.
Are they excited? Lahat ba?
Of course, everybody is at risk here. And nandun pa meron pa yung program sa National Residence Council, a partnership between the private sector led by SM, si Hansi, and the national government led by Secretary Lorenzana. And this time, we have to have a wider perspective. Of course, as Mayor of Cagayan de Oro, siyempre, isipin ko what's good for the city, no? But I cannot close my eyes doon sa iba rin. No, it's not just Cagayan de Oro, etc. No? The reality is, talking about resiliency, importante ang buong rehiyon.
And what's the reason why you are so active and giving so much focus dito sa
Metropolization,
Yeah.
ganyan.
Harmony. What's so important on this metropolization?
Iba na ang mundo ngayon. You do not think alone.
Pero, Mayor, huwag kang magalit sa akin.
Sige.
Is this a strategy of a politician na metropolization because you have a lot of towns with you now?
I'm already too old.
So, di ba magiging useless lahat ng development natin kung wala tayong clean water at yung
Certainly.
kailangan na basic service talaga ng mga tao?
Certainly, tama ka dyan. Dahil sa city or any community for that matter, you have to have utilities. And kung kulang yung utilities na yan, kulang ang ingredients ng competitive, smart community. No? So, power, kailangan telecoms, kailangan tubig. These are basic utilities. And sa power, sa awa ng Diyos, we're doing okay. Meron tayong renewable source power, siguro ang focus, no? Telecoms, okay na, some fine-tunings, no?
Is there a problem with the water?
Hindi lang naman in Cagayan de Oro, it's a national phenomenon.
Pero dito sa Cagayan de Oro, sir?
Yes, there is a problem. Now, ang nangyari kasi, do you know, Cagayan de Oro was the first water district that was established after Marcos issued a decree in 1972. First water district that was created under that decree.
So dapat kayo pinakamatatag.
Ang water district namin dito there was a time na yan ang pinakasikat na employer dito.
Sa
The
Cagayan de
best,
Oro.
the best basketball players were recruited by the water district
Because they can afford.
because they could afford.
Financially
The
stable.
prettiest, the brightest ladies were hired by, ano yun, it was a company to be and to be seen, no? Water district.
What's the intro?
Ang ano kasi,
Management?
hindi naman, dahil ang management sa water district is supposed to be independent. Pero ang problema, walang teamwork between the city and the water district. The LGU executive is the appointing power of the members of the board, no? And the members of the board, their terms are fixed.
Okay.
But beyond the appointment, wala nang nangyayari. And so, the city has not been able to contribute to mga ganon. And then it was as if that the city and the water district were separate worlds. Nang walang pakialaman. So much so that the non-revenue water of the water district started to rise. Whenever the non-revenue water is already in a very...
What's the reason, sir? Lack of source?
Ang dami yan, sir. Ang daming problema.
May loan na binabayaran?
Dami yan. Daming factors yan. Inefficiency is one. Lowering of the morale is another.
Or people not paying?
Lack of funds, of course. Yung collection, mahina. Ang daming pilferage. Ang daming kombinasyon yan. All sorts of combinations, no? Kaya nangyari, when I took over as mayor in 2013, I talked to I issued a statement asking the directors of the water district sana if they could offer a courtesy resignation. Dahil I knew, I asked them to offer a courtesy resignation.
Saan sila mag-resign? They're not under the mayor.
But they could resign. They could resign, no? Isulatan lang nila ang corporate secretary.
So the mayor can appoint.
Dahil alam mo, ang members of the board were managers of radio stations, mga ganon.
Could that be a reason also, Mayor, why other water districts are not really successful? Kasi yung mga board of directors are not capable?
I'm afraid that is certainly one of the factors.
So what happened? You give them money daw?
Hindi pa. So nag-decline sila. Sabi nila,
Galit sa'yo?
sabi nila, fixed term. Sabi ko, okay, fine. Meron kasing problema din ang water district, yung bulk water supply. Somehow, merong issue on the validity of the procurement process. Anyway, na-resolve na yan. And then, ang Manny Pangilinan Group bought the company or the asset of the company that supplied the bulk water to the water district. And then, ngayon, okay na. But, mataas pa rin ang non-revenue water, although it has been declining, pero nasa over 50% pa. Kaya, in the meantime, the city is growing fast. And kitang-kita mo na, you don't have to be a genius to realize na some elevated areas like Balubal, Indahag, Lumbia, hindi kaya sa water district.
Bakit?
Ang tubig kasi ipapump pa doon. So,
that will be too costly.
that will be very expensive. Alam mo, isa sa mga problema sa water districts all over the country, ang borrowings nila confined lang sa luwa. Pero mukhang kinapos na yata ang pera ng ang luha, no?
Kinapos dahil walang binigay na budget. O na slash.
Baka naman for a good reason. I don't know. But the fact is, wala nang mapupuntahan ng mga water districts. Paano yung mga capital outlay programs nila? Ang revenues nila, yung regular revenues nila, tama lang for their regular operation.
So you think, Mayor, that there's a real need to pursue the Department of Water?
Of course. Of course. Pero dapat with a clear mandate, no? Ang problema din, water district you want to borrow from, you cannot borrow unless you go through some approval processes. Kung saan-saan ka pa nadadaan. Imagine, I asked them, how long will it take for your loan to be approved and released? 2 to 3 years. My God. Alam mo, sir, I used to work in the banking sector. Ganun katagal ang processing time. Komplikado na. By the time the loan is released, yung equipment na bibilin mo, mahal na po. Hindi na kaya nung...
Will it ever occur into your mind that it's better for the local government unit to operate or to...
No, hindi pa rin.
Don't you know, Mayor, that there are other areas in the country na sila nag-operate?
Alam ko, pero sa akin, okay pa rin na nandyan ang water district.
So is that the reason why you gave them 500 million pesos?
Kaya we're setting aside 500 million pesos just for...
Ang laki naman.
That's not even
Coming from the city government.
City government, we're setting that aside, tulong sa kanila para sa kanilang expansion program.
Because you see the need, really. So this is a serious problem.
Yes, and alam mo, sa utilities kasi, pag naiwanan ka, lalo kang maiiwanan.
So with your 500 million pesos, can they catch up?
In due time, yes. In fact, I would feel na meron ng turnaround. No? I remember a few months ago, I had announced dahil ang available ngayon na tubig, much higher na than before.
Mag-iinit na, sir. With the early coming
summer season is about...
Hindi kayo mahirapan? Hindi kayo maabusan?
I expect na may problema dyan. Yung
May nangyayari na ba na walang tubig talaga?
Walang tubig talaga.
So, saan sila umiinom? Saan sila kumuha ng tubig?
Naghahatid kami ng tubig doon.
Every day.
Pati Bureau of Fire.
Talaga, sir? May
Naghahatid.
gano'n na? Saan galing yung tubig kinukuha nyo?
Dito sa baba. Sa water district din.
Hindi ka gano'n nangyari sa Maynila.
Pero manageable. But kaya sinasabi ko nga na we need their programs para we can talk about them. Ang ano ko, itong 500 million will be made available to the water district as a loan. Pwedeng
Loan sila sa inyo?
parang bridge, parang pwedeng
Loan
loan.
bigay, sir. Loan pala.
Mahirap din naman. Dahil ang water district, naniningil yan sila sa mga consumers.
So you're doing business.
Yeah, pero sa akin, kahit interest-free yung loan na yan, sinabi ko na, basta bayaran lang. Meron naman sila, siyempre yung mga revenues nila. Unless the revenues are, we can talk about how the revenues are programmed.
So kailan sila mag-start?
Hopefully before the middle of the year. Ang sa akin dyan kahit interest-free yan, sabi ko nga, the improvement of the economy brought about by the availability of water and the business uptick, and of course the service to the people would be more than that just plain interest to me. It's more than just, say, 6% or 8% per annum.
So this is going to be started within this middle of the year. Kailan ang expected na matapos ito?
I was thinking 5-6 years, no?
5 to 6 years pa matapos.
Ay, hindi. Yung project, I thought about the repayment. Dapat yan, mga less than a year. Depende sa volume, sa amount of project. No? But dapat yan, mga 6 months to a year.
So, with this serious problem that the CDO is facing, itong water problem and other problems in sa city, can we still catch up?
We are actually ahead, I would say.
Kasi hindi pa nangyayari problema, ginagawa nyo na eh.
Na-address ko na. Kanina, nag-groundbreaking na naman sa another real estate project. And the principals are from Davao. And so they're coming up with more than 400 units. And that could just be the beginning of a series of investments. And then more and more investors are coming in.
Based on what you're saying, as if every day, palagi kayong naghahabol, palagi kayong on the go, kailan matapos ang kailangang matapos?
At saka, kailangan, you have to make sure that the fundamentals are in place. And that is what the role of government should be. Make sure that the fundamentals for a bustling economy.
May gusto kang sabihin sa lahat naman nakikinig ngayon.
Ano naman sa Cagayan de Oro today is much better than the Cagayan de Oro that I inherited in 2013. Pero palagi ko nga itong sinasabi, we have succeeded because nagtulong-tulungan. We have succeeded because merong kaabag in Bisaya. Kaabag is partner, kasama. And no matter how difficult a project or program might appear to be, kung nagtulong-tulungan tayo, kaya nating gawin. Conversely, no matter how easy a project looks like, kung hindi tayo nagtulong-tulungan, naging babag pa yung iba, it will still be difficult to do these things. No? So the message here is, bayanihan. That is the message of the Universal Healthcare Program. That is the message of the EO70, whole of nation, whole of government approach. That is the message of metropolization. You look at the bigger picture and you see how you can converge, how you can collaborate with each other.
After that, the killer river will not be a killer river anymore.
No more Sindong, but Cagayan River will be Cagayan de Oro's pride.
Mayor Moreno, maraming salamat, sa inyong pagpayag at mabuhay po kayo.
Salamat po.
UNLAD Pilipinas.